have Joanie with you.
Absolutely.
Oh, a double bonus for us.
He's the star.
So it's not too often I get to talk to a famous chef.
What chef? Famous chef.
Come on, you're a master chef, of course.
Okay.
And Joanie, I'll tell you up front, in all transparency, I can barely make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So
Well, then you need to come here, take a step.
I don't know how I am selected as the one to interview such an accomplished chef, but I'll do my best, okay? Roland, how do you become a master chef?
Oh my God, with a lot of suffering, a lot of hard work, and never too much in the slack. I'm always busy. I'm always doing something, whatever it was. And I always work with the young people, the young American kids, and everything, those American kids, they're not stupid. They understand pretty quickly what works and what doesn't work, So over time, it's fine, it's fun. And we did a lot of good stuff, for many years,
And Joanie, a woman loves a man that can cook for them. Is that how you fell in love with Roland?
Well, I was just talking to Roland about this last night. We met in 1999, and I was working in Sequoia National Park, and he was the culinary ambassador, the fancy term that the company gave. He was their world ambassador. He came to Sequoia, and he walked in the kitchen, and we were all aflutter. Oh my gosh, Chef Roland is here. And that morning, one of the dishwashers had called in sick, and we were doing breakfast service. We were really slammed. And instead of getting upset and saying, well, who's doing dishes or whatnot, Roland just donned an apron and got in the dish pit and started
Oh, I love it.
only washing dishes, but cleaning. And he wasn't trying to prove a point. He just jumped in to help where the help where it was needed at that moment. And I looked at one of my friends, and I said, I'm going to marry that man. And I was being facetious at the time.
Not only a great chef, but very humble. And Joanie, I noticed that you pronounce it Roland, so I want to get that right. And Roland, I hear the accent. Tell me about the accent. And
well, I get some more money for my accent, so I don't want to lose it.
Is that how it works? Okay. Where is your accent from?
I was born on the frontier of
Leon?
Yeah, whatever Lyon is close to Italy, So my grandparents were Italians, and I think some of this is came from there, But working, traveling in so many parts of the world, from France to Italy to Germany to whatever, and competing, you change your stuff, you change what you said, you change the way we talk and everything. That now it's a come back up with Joanie that speak very, very, very good, But I use it as I don't want to say it as a joke, but as a, getting to know somebody or getting them to me, know me,
And Roland, as you were competing, I was just reading up on you at the 1992 Olympics. Were you representing America?
I did so many. I don't even remember them all, but
because you've done so much.
We've done so much. That's about it. Maybe my brain is not keeping them off old. I would have to go to some much more paper. And actually, right now we're doing the Christmas shop, and Joanie is doing the paper because I can keep it up. There is too much.
I'm only assisting, Roland. You still got it.
Hey, Joanie, you know what I've always been curious about? When you get, and I know, Roland, you're very humble, but you're one of the greatest chefs. There's very few that are at your caliber. Joanie, I've always been curious, when you have a master chef and they're so busy pleasing other people all the time, When they're on their own, what do they eat? Like when they're at home, do they prepare beautiful meals for themselves, or is it more what the rest of us do, hot pockets or microwavable snacks? Or
I will tell you, Roland has been eating, I would say, a Mediterranean diet before it even had a name.
really, always
Lots of
healthy.
salmon. And besides cooking, fishing is his other love, and then I might come in third somewhere in there. But so lots of, green leafy, crunchy vegetables, lots of fish. But at home, we would eat pretty simple, a lot of salads, a lot of seafood, just clean lines. Roland does not snack in between meals, which I think is it's really hard that concept, not, just walking past and seeing snacks and grabbing them. So I think that's some of your clean living.
Joanie, the first time that you cooked in front of Roland, was it fun or was it just a little bit intimidating?
It was not intimidating. I actually have to say that, because Roland, when you're cooking with him or you're engaging and start with a little glass of wine and here you chop this or that. Now, I did make sure that my knife skills were, up so that he didn't critique my red bell pepper, because that would just go into stock then if it's not, anyway. But I love to cook. I am of no caliber of like Roland, but I have no problem cooking alongside him or baking, or I think it's that I also just could listen to him for hours, and I do. So, and I enjoy it, which is probably, help keeps the spark alive after all these years.
Roland, what is your specialty?
I don't know. I think my specialties are two ways. One is cooking, and the other one is running after, I don't know, this word, but tough people that don't do their job, That's one side. On the other side is me working with those people, some of the good people, and trying to put some love in what they're doing, so to do something right better than they thought they could do, whatever. And it happened. It comes there. I'm going to tell you something, no BS or anything like this. The American kids is a hell of a kid. They wanted to get competition. They wanted to go the world competition, go over there. Of course, it was very unusual, difficile, because they are not used to do that kind of thing, but they learned 1, 2, 3 times, and they were pretty close to perfections. But it takes some work, and not everybody is given this, this privilege or whatever you want to call it, Some of them say, oh, the hell, give me a beer and, I split or whatever. But there is enough. And I think, I remember that, I'm going to say, I forget the years and all this, but, 30 years, 40 years ago, the American cooks, they were nothing. They had no name. They were nothing all over the world because they never accomplished anything in terms of something extraordinary. But some of them, and we have them, she's helping me writing the Christmas the Christmas card, because there is so many. She's giving me
Sure.
to do that, and we have them from 30, 40 years, and those guys, they are all chefs everywhere now, and they're almost competing among themselves, to themselves, and everything to see who's going to get the best one for this year. Who's going to? I tell you, they call me and they call Joanie, and oh God, it's fantastic. They send me mail, and they are busy. They are family. They have kids and everything. And they all keep up. They all keep making sure that I'm aware, I'm standard and things. We went fishing last summer with some of those guys. For the summer.
Wow, that has to be special for them.
That's a life of mentoring. Roland, and that's, I think what he's talking about, and we were discussing some of these people that we're sending some of these cards to were very young, green students of Roland, and now they are running, you know, food and beverage programs on big corporate levels or high-end restaurants or own their own restaurants. I mean, there's a whole slew of them that you would actually know their names. And I think that with Roland, because people sometimes say, who's Roland Henin? But the who's who of chef all know who Roland is because he mentored so many
And
people.
Joanie, how special is that to give that gift to the next generation culturally as well? Like when you talk about American chefs getting better and better and coming onto the scene, I totally understand, Roland. 40 years ago, they weren't even in the game. And now, because of mentors like yourself, they're in the game.
Exact. There is no question. That's perfection as your knowledge and this kind of. So it was a difficult thing to actually, getting them one by one, and once or there in the case of that, having a plus in there and having something that was not right and having them accept the fact that it was not that good. What do you mean it's not that good? What do you mean it's not a gold medal? Because, and I have them to understand it. And I'm going to tell you, 9 out of 10, they understand that game. They are not, those American kids, they are not stupid. They're strong, they're good, they know what to do. I mean, honestly, I was lucky. I was lucky to get people like this, different on age, yes, but willing to get slapped in order to achieve something that was
not
very
literally,
good.
but
Yeah. Right. When you watch these popular cooking competitions on television, what are your thoughts? Is that hard for you to watch because you're critiquing, going, they should be doing this or this, or can you watch them and enjoy them, or not?
You've got it. Can you accept this? And no, sometimes I can, and I shut the TV or whatever it is because I can't take it. Sometimes you have people that try really well, that do, and they can see. And then, so do you know what I try? I try to take their name, where they are. I try to contact them and say, hey, listen, what about that? Was not too bad, but maybe you can do a little bit better. You want to try?
I think what he's also trying to get at, if you can, do you mind, is that a lot of the stuff, you have some incredible chefs on TV and they're amazing and they do amazing work, but the TV is, so much of that is for show. When you actually have true cooking competitions like the Bocuse d'Or or the Culinary Olympics, it's not like the TV show. I mean, it's not for it. It's a completely different game.
Oh, I imagine, because they're produced for television. How about Cogir of Edmonds? Do you get in the kitchen there, Roland?
Every day I am in the kitchen.
And do the other residents, and I know that you've made friends at Cogir of Edmonds, do they realize who you are? Do they understand your level of accomplishment being a chef?
No, because I'm not doing that much of it in here, because this is not really for what I am here. I'm here to correct my health and all this kind of stuff. But sometimes it happens, but among ourselves, not including sometimes the people.
And you're so humble, Roland. Joanie, can you imagine being one of the chefs at Cogir and Roland is one that you're serving?
I feel for them.
In a sense, I am friends with all of them, with the 4 or 5 of them. We are good friends because I took it easily, and I didn't critique them or anything like this. In the contrary, I gave them help. I gave them, try this, maybe it worked better, or whatever, something simple that they could achieve and recognize it, and today they're doing almost just about every day. But I didn't say, whoa, I'm the big guy or anything or whatever it is.
You know what,
Big-
Roland?
I'm-
With all of
I'm
your
not, you know.
accomplishments, and Joanie, I sincerely mean this. I'm politely surprised at how humble you are, because you've done an awful lot. Let me ask you this, Edmonds, Cogir. Why Edmonds? Is that an area that you have a lot of friends and that you're just comfortable in?
I don't have a lot of friends, but I don't have no enemy to speak of either. So that's
We're-
Congratulations. That's an
Lots of enemies.
accomplishment. Not many people can say that.
I have ate every food that they send me.
And your community
Every
there is
time.
absolutely gorgeous. Joanie, why Edmonds?
Roland has worked and traveled all over the world, but he's had a house here in Edmonds
Oh,
for about 40 years, and he has another house kind of down by the coast where fish camp. But so this is his area, the Northwest. He's always said, you know, when people ask him, why don't you move back to Europe or France, or which France is in Europe, but somewhere else, he's always talking about the bounty of the Northwest. You know, I mean, it's really all about the salmon and just the beauty of this country. It's gorgeous. And just to throw a little thing in for Cogir, when we were looking for a place for Roland to live, we met a gal from another place here in town, and she told us about Michelle and Cogir of Edmonds, and we feel very proud and happy that Roland is here at Cogir. The people here are incredible. The care coordinator, Michelle, the director, John, everybody here, Sabrina, Kyra, the whole staff here has just been incredible. And Roland has a lot of fun. And we talk every single night. I don't live here, but he does talk about the food a lot, and he enjoys it. In fact, you just had a holiday buffet, and he was saying how hard Michelle was working, and the chef and the food and everything. So he's in a really good place here. But yeah, the Northwest is his home.
I love that. And I'll tell you, we're in Arizona.
Yeah.
We're in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I am lucky enough to have a couple friends that are chefs, maybe not at Roland's level, but
That's
they're
okay. That's okay.
pretty well-known chefs, and I can't wait to tell them, hey, you know who I interviewed? I talked to Roland Henin, and then I'll score some points with them.
We're in Phoenix there, Scottsdale.
We're in Scottsdale, yeah, and I have a couple of friends who are chefs that own restaurants, and I just respect them so much, and I love going to visit them, but I can't wait to tell them that I talked to one of the stars in the industry. This will be fun.
Yeah, I've been living in Arizona, and I'm moving up here full-time in February.
Oh, Joanie, where were you at in Arizona?
I'm at a little teeny place in northern Arizona.
Where at? What city?
I manage Phantom Ranch at the bottom of the Grand Canyon.
God, that's heaven. Are you
But that's
kidding
really,
me?
that's secondary compared to what he does.
Oh,
so.
Joanie, that Phantom Ranch is legendary. It's just unbelievable. And for those of you watching, if you're not familiar with Phantom Ranch, just for the fun of it, since Joanie brought it up, just Google it, and I think you'll see a slice of heaven. And Roland, the gift that you've given to the next generation from your experience and your expertise is really heartwarming. And I think it's appropriate that we're doing this interview during the holidays. And I wish you and Joanie the merriest of Christmas.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
Very kind. Very kind.
Come to Arizona and cook for me sometime. I'm ready.
You would love to do that. You want to go to Arizona and cook?
Why not?
I imagine you have that special touch on everybody you meet. And I love the Christmas tree behind you. So
I know.
Oh,
you guys have been terrific. Merry Christmas and happy holidays.
thank you.
Thank you
It was
so
a
much.
pleasure to have you on board.